Yes.
Yay, we got it. Yes. Where?
Hey.
You're in Fiji, right?
I am somewhere between Samoa and Fiji, currently
Oh my
in the
gosh.
Pacific.
Hello and welcome to the Lumbaone Podcast, the perfectly imperfect podcast focused on progress towards living a fulfilling life. We are your hosts. My name is Michael Lum.
I'm Eric Lum.
My name is Judy Lay, and today we have a special guest. She's currently traveling on sea right now, and she's a lead vocalist from the southwest of England. She works and entertains as a singer on cruise ships from around the world. And she also completed 2 shows. One is the Greatest American Songbook and the musical's Jukebox. She also competed in IMTA last year in New York, and she won 2nd place in the singing competition. Please welcome, and she's joining us all the way from Fiji, 19-hour difference from Las Vegas. We were calculating it. Please welcome actress, vocalist, and our friend, Rebecca Southard.
Yay.
Oh, thank you. Hi, guys. Thank you for having me. It's so
Hi.
good to see you all.
Good to see you.
You're living the dream. You're traveling and entertaining, traveling around the world. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a beautiful way of life. Feel very grateful, very fortunate to be seeing so much of this incredible world and getting to sing every night too. It's a lot of fun.
You do
That's awesome.
shows every night?
Yeah, so I sing with the band in the
Nice.
ballroom. The company that I'm with, we really like to own in on the kind of ballroom dancing. That's one of their USPs, and people come from all around the world, all different age demographics, sort of specifically for that kind of event, to have that traditional evening experience, really. So that focus of the ballroom is where I get to play with the band and sing with another co-singer who's a lovely girl, and just play some music, have a good time, and hope that the people on board enjoy themselves.
That's so awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
So where are you again right now?
Currently I'm somewhere in the Pacific between Samoa and Fiji. I was in
Wow.
Apia, the capital of Samoa, 2 days ago. Well, 2 days ago for me, 1 day ago for you,
Oh
because
my
I'm in the future right now, guys.
Yeah.
In the future.
Wow.
And then tomorrow we will be docking in a place called Lautoka in Fiji.
Oh, wow.
My goodness.
Yeah.
That's
So I've
cool.
never been on this side of the world before. Well, I've been to Australia before, but I've never done the Pacific Islands. So actually sailing down from the US down here is a new experience, and lots of new bucket list places, which I'm very fortunate to experience.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
Yeah. It is, the time difference is pretty wild. Like when we were
Yeah.
organizing this, I was like, okay, like I don't know how my brain can really mentally compartmentalize all these different time zones and where we're going to be, but we've got a day sorted, so here we
Yeah,
are.
we made it.
We made it.
So tell us, how young were you when you decided that you were going to, be in the entertainment industry, or, have interest in it?
Well, I've always had an interest in it. It's in my family, so it was always going to be part of my life somehow. And I did it as a hobby from a very young age, as a small child. Was always into ballet and musical theatre, kind of drama clubs, that type of thing.
Nice.
And it was only when I had started down another career path, actually, that didn't work out, that I did decide to take the choice and say, oh, well, I've always been very passionate about this, and I'm not sure I believe in myself enough right now to give it a go, but maybe I would regret if I didn't give it a go.
Yeah.
So that was when I was like early 20s, I think maybe 19, 20. Yeah, actually, just around 19, 20, I was like, okay, I'm going to try an audition and go to university or see if a drama school will take me. And then I kind of started on a new path, really. I would say quite late. I don't know, never too late, is it ever? But rather than being 15, 16, always knowing I was going to drama school, I sort of had a different direction to begin with, and then decided later on, sometimes it takes people a little longer to realize, okay, let's give this a try instead.
Yeah, totally.
So how long have you been on the cruise ships and traveling around doing performances and all that?
I have been on the ships now for about 2.5 years. Okay. Yeah, it's a post-pandemic adventure, sort of after my first job from graduating when I went to Japan, which I know you guys love. You've been to the Japan, haven't you?
Yes,
and you absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Having that kind of adventure away from home, living abroad, I thought, maybe keeping the traveling going with cruise ship work would be something I'd like to explore. So started auditioning as soon as things kind of opened up again after COVID. And then this was the opportunity that came my way. So I sort of grabbed it and have been doing this role for, sort of the past 2.5 years.
Wow.
So is it a particular cruise line that you worked with, or is it multiple different lines?
I work for Cunard under Carnival UK.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I've been fortunate to rotate. They've got 4 ships in the Cunard fleet now, and I've done 3 out of the 4. So I'm hoping maybe to have a holiday on the other one and not be working, so I can at least say I've gone on all 4 of them. But we'll see if it happens. But yeah, it's been awesome. Time on, time off. It's a different way of life. I think being in the entertainment industry is, it's not going to be a normal way of life anyway, right? Because of the contracts on and off, in and out of work, audition, rejection, audition. So it's 7 days a week here, operation on all the time. And then when you're on your vacation, you're not doing anything. So it's sort of all or nothing, time on, time off, which is different. But it's been a lot of fun. It's great, that time off at home allows different dynamics and different relationships to flourish when you're there, because you're 100% there, when you're back home with friends and family. But then it's hard because when you're away, you're 100% away in the middle of the ocean. So it has pros and cons. But then the internet is amazing, because we wouldn't be doing this without, technology these days. So it's not as tough being away completely, because you still have the communication.
So you do 7 days on, 7 days off? Is that how it goes?
Say again?
Is it 7 days on, 7 days off?
No, sorry. It's just every night we work sort of 7 days a week. But my contracts are 3 months-ish.
Oh, so you stay on the ship for 3 months for all the voyages?
Yeah. So I'll be on here I started the beginning of September. I'm here until beginning of December. And we do get an odd night off for a bit of vocal rest every now and then, which is nice. But yeah, typically it's like, you ask me what day it is, guys, I could not tell you. Have no idea.
That must be nice.
Just all runs into one.
It's Sunday here and Monday there.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you very much. What a great way to start my week. I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend, and this is a nice way to finish it for you.
Do you have a favorite place you've been to so far?
Oh,
besides
Orange
County.
Oh man, you know how much I loved it there, Judy. The OC was my favorite TV show living out my teenage dream when I went there.
I love the OC.
I would say, you're putting me on the spot now. I did love Alaska because of the nature. Yeah, and I've been very fortunate to do 2 seasons of Alaska on the ship. The ship that I've been on spends 4 to 6 weeks every summer doing tours around there. And what was beautiful about staying in the same place for that length of time is you get to revisit the ports. So you get to say, I want to do this today, but then I'll do that next time, because you're coming back. So it does give you more time there when you're on a whole season, as opposed to just having 5 hours and then never going back again, which is what it's like sometimes. But I loved Alaska for the nature, for the peacefulness, for the tranquility. It just felt really raw. Yeah, loved it. But then going to places, just being around Europe, Italy, the culture of Spain and Italy, like I just love that way of life, the food, the drink. Yeah.
That sounds
So
amazing.
a bit of both, I would say, the sort of European culture where I spend all my money on wine, and then the nature of Alaska and the beauty of over there in the US. So yeah, there's some highlights.
Sounds like fun.
Wow. How do you keep your vocal health? Because I know that's very important for singers, and since you sing 7 days a week, how do you do that?
That is a great question, Eric, and for me has always been super important because, you know, having solid technique is the foundation, right? But also vocal rest and solid technique go hand in hand. Like you can't just keep abusing your voice, even if you are the world's greatest singer. Every singer and, you know, professional speaker needs voice rest. So that was something I was quite nervous about when I started the job, because I mean, we sing 3 lots of 45-minute sets. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, there are people that sing more than I do on board, 100%. But the sort of nature of the hosting as well, you know, you are vocalizing every night for work. That's the bottom line. So the main thing coming into this job for me with vocal health was warm up and hydration and like nebulizing, steaming, and basically just trying to rest as much as I can. There's sort of 3 or 4 key components, I would say, to maintaining good vocal health. So the voice rest is probably the trickiest thing, but that's the most important. You know, if you have a vocal injury or you have a sore throat, you just need to not use that instrument at all. But how can you when you have to sing for your job and there's people everywhere? Unless I stay in my teeny little box, which I'll probably just give you a quick view of around before we go, I'll just turn into like a little hermit and not have to talk to anyone. But voice rest is, you know, you have to be dedicated and kind of being like, nope, I need this rest. I'm feeling strained. I'm feeling tired. But then saying that, the more you use your muscle, in my experience, the stronger it's gotten, you know, doing it every night. Like my voice is the best it's been. And hopefully I just want to continue to get better, which is a good feeling too.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, it definitely is a balance of making sure that you do your warm-ups, you do your cool downs, you're sleeping well, and getting the balance between having loads of fun in the daytime and then making sure you can still do your job as efficiently as you desire. Everyone has different standards. Everyone, you know, does their own thing, sure. But if you want to care about what you're putting out and you want to feel good in your job, like you have to be mindful of that, you know. So yeah, vocal health is a big interest of mine. I love it. I love all kinds of vocal stuff. So like really cool.
What do you drink? Is it just water, and what do you said
Lots
steaming
of wine.
or nebulizing?
On the off nights, Judy, 100%.
Everyone has their different things.
That's very true. It's all about balance, right?
What exactly?
But yeah, mainly water. Just keeping hydrated. Like I try and drink at least 1.5 liters, if not 2 liters a day. And be like, when we're at sea, it's easier for me to kind of consume because I'm thinking about it more. It's just there. Whereas if I'm out on a day trip or something, I'm like, oh God, like I forgot. And then it gets to sort of 5 p.m. when I'm back on board and I'm like chugging water, even though that's really not the way to do it and probably doesn't help whatsoever. It's just thinking, yeah, okay, I know I have to rehydrate. I'm feeling a bit tired. So yeah. But I do still drink caffeine, tea and coffee a lot.
Not as good for you.
I can see your water on your table. You're being very hydrated right now.
Yeah, we were just at a baby shower and it was pretty hot, so we were like, oh, let's try.
And it was outside.
And I've been pretty thirsty since yesterday.
Yeah.
There were 10.
Is it still
100.
intense heat?
Yeah,
still
over
pretty
100.
hot. Yeah. It's
In October?
In October.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's gonna go down soon.
Wow.
So you can come back.
I'm really hoping for you guys.
How's the weather over there in the ocean?
They have they have a camera on the bow of the ship, and we can get it on our TV. So I'm actually just
Wow.
looking at the ocean view right now as my little window.
Aw.
And it's beautiful. Like, it's pretty still today. It's been a bit rocky the last few nights, actually. However, around, I don't know what it would be in Fahrenheit, about 28, 30 degrees, which maybe like in the 80s or 90s for you guys.
Oh,
I
wow.
think so, yeah.
But quite humid, actually, because now we're down here, the tropical humidity is getting quite intense, and that's quite
Right.
draining. I mean, like any heat in general, you feel tired, don't you? And you've been out in it for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
But the sun is lovely, not gonna lie to you. I did have an England summer, and it was nice to be having a real summer coming over to this side of the equator. So yeah.
Has there ever been like a scary, like, is it scary out there on the ocean? Like big waves and stuff like that? Have you experienced that?
I've experienced some pretty bad motion, but not so much to the extent of like waves crashing up over. So we have on deck 3, like level 3, we have an open deck where you can walk around. And sometimes if it's really bad weather and stormy, obviously they close the open deck because it's dangerous. So that's happened occasionally, yeah, but I've never sort of been out there with waves crashing or anything wild like that. But I have been laying down in my cabin, and like stuff has been falling off my shelf, and heard a few things crashing down. And I'm bearing in mind, so all the crew quarters are under or mostly underwater level, like either just above and then below, and obviously then the guest cabins go up to deck 10 or something like that. So the higher you are, obviously the more motion you're going to feel, whereas I'm quite fortunate being quite central where my cabin is and down low. If I'm getting it badly with stuff falling down and I'm feeling like, oh, this is, a bit more than a little rock to sleep tonight, I'm thinking, what are these people up on deck 9 or 10 feeling? They must be needing those seasickness pills. Like, So when people say like, oh, it's fine, you're not going to feel much, like generally you don't at all, don't ever let that put you off. But if you are, maybe doing an Atlantic crossing at certain times of the year, or you do get a bit of bad weather, like it can be a bit motion sicknessy. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many different places have you been to? Do you keep track of how many like ports you've been to, or countries or whatnot?
Personally, I don't really specifically keep track. A couple of my friends have an app, and you can get all these types of marker things right on your phone and stuff. I do pin on my Google Maps. Oh, that might be quite interesting. Let me see if this will load if I've got the internet on there. I do pin on my Google Maps everywhere I go.
Nice.
Firstly, because I don't want to forget where the port is, so I know I can always find my way back there, right? But then also, just sort of out of interest, it's quite nice to see, as you say, it won't let me load because I'm on here, but it's just nice to see around the world your sort of pins and where you have been. So I guess that's my sort of reference and how I view and remember my little adventures from here and there. So it's looking pretty colourful, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very, very lucky, very grateful, but obviously still there's so much of the world to see and can never see it all. But yeah, it's cool to remember where I've been just from my Google Maps, really, and remembering that. But yeah.
What do you feel like you've gotten or taken away from getting to travel all over the world and see all the different things, different cultures and stuff like that?
That's a really good question. The main thing I have come away with is appreciation, I think, mainly for the beauty of this world. Appreciation for the fact I am from a place that allows me these opportunities and the ability to see just a fraction of what it is, to travel. And it's also made me appreciate the people and the place that I come from. It's a very interesting way of life, which has lots of challenges and lots of blessings. But I think it can either make you appreciate more where you come from, or it can make you want to flee the nest even more. And for me, I think it's made me realize, like, the world is incredible. There is so much to see. It's fantastic. Like, have all the adventure that you can, but it's about the people you're around, and it's about the people that you share those things with, and who you get to come home to at the end of the day. I think that's what I've kind of taken away from it. So yeah, realizing that you can have all the amazing experiences and see the coolest things and taste the weirdest food. But just from my experience, like, it's nice to share that with someone that you want to share it with. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite project that you've worked on in the past few years?
I would say I'm excited about the projects I have going on now with the shows that you mentioned. Thank you very much for your lovely, kind introduction.
They sound so wonderful. They sound very cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited about those going on. I'm hoping to perform my American Songbook show again while I'm on board here to kind of brush that up again. And I think it wasn't a project, just like taking acting class, right? When I was with you guys in Vegas.
Yeah, that was really
that
fun.
Daily, it was a daily discipline, learning scripts, going to class every week, being in that kind of sort of actor mode, I think, is one of my favorite things. And similar to being in the singing mode, like I get to sing every night at work here,
right?
Feeling like that is a regular part of my routine, of what I like to do in the day. That's pretty cool. That's one of my favorite things, having things every day that I get to do that make me feel like a singer and an actor. Whether that be working on a specific project, like, you know, my shows at the moment, which is very exciting in itself, or when you get a commercial or you get a role in a film or something. But it's the practice of it, right? It's the discipline and the going to class. Like, you have to enjoy that to enjoy the actual sprinkle of the show, which is the cherry on top. Yeah,
totally.
So what are your, like, I don't know, your big goals and big dreams? Like, what is the ultimate outcome for you? What do you want?
She's living a dream already.
I know, you're living a dream already, but everybody...
She's Michael, I will hold my hands up and say...
She's a mermaid.
So far. Absolutely. Yeah, apart from being a mermaid, I would have to say... I think musical theatre has always been my passion. Like, that's what really, live theatre, live singing and acting through song is just my favorite thing, I think. So I would love to be in a West End production. I would love to be in a touring production of a show that means something to me, that I feel, you know, I could do well in the role in, and would mean something to people. So I would say, live theatre, musicals is the dream, continually the dream, as well as, I'm not fussy, just universe, give me anything. Like, I'll take whatever you've got going. Like, you know, I'm pretty easy to please. So
didn't you compete in the voiceover and in an American accent, and you won?
Oh my gosh,
she's really good at her American accent too.
Well, I mean, I know you have video on right now, but maybe if I didn't have the video going, you could really test to see how good my accent would be then. That would be
it's good.
We get a little taste?
Oh, well, now I'm getting nervous and I'm going to start laughing. But yeah, I mean, like, the seeing any kind of gritty drama, like great TV shows, like stuff that's just real, like, that sort of reignites that fire that I think people that love the arts and have that creative flair sort of feel when you see that reflected back. So whether that be through a song, whether that be in a play or on a film, I guess the way to narrow it down for me is it's like storytelling, just making people feel something and allowing you to help someone feel something else.
And having fun.
Yeah.
That's the best.
And having fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The whole process of digging into that, whatever that may be, and seeing what comes out,
What are you watching now?
Well, I actually most recently watched a BBC drama called Tokyo
BBC.
Vice.
Tokyo Vice.
Oh, you guys should watch it because it's set in Tokyo.
Oh wow.
I've heard of
and
Tokyo
like
Vice.
honestly, the Japanese culture,
Vice.
the actor Ansel Elgort, I think it is, the one from the new West Side Story and Baby Driver. Love him.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. He speaks maybe 60% Japanese in it. And he's American, or Canadian, right? So like, yeah, the dedication that he gave to that role and that character, and how it kind of just dives straight into the Tokyo culture and that insight into Japan is pretty cool. That really sort of took me away, takes you to a different world. But his character was so real and so invested. I really enjoyed that. That's the most recent thing I've watched, actually. So yeah. It's pretty cool. Hour-long episodes. You know when you're binging hour-long episodes, that's when it's really got you.
Yeah.
You should check out Shogun too. They just won so many
Shogun?
awards. Yeah. They won like 18 Emmys.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to check that out.
And
What type of show is that?
It's like Japanese Game of Thrones. Basically,
Oh,
it's so good.
awesome. Okay.
It's so good.
Yeah. The first episode.
I'll have to look
was
at
like,
that.
He was blown away from the first.
Really? It just
Yeah.
grabs you like right then and there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Amazing.
And The Bear with Jeremy Allen White.
The Bear.
from-
I've heard of that too.
It's really good. It's really good. You check it out.
Yeah, I do need to get some more series on the go and get into something good. I'm not into anything at the moment,
When
so
you
I'll
have
take those
a day off.
recommendations. Oh, let me tell you, it's all too easy on a C day to just stay watching TV and then 5 hours have gone by, best go to work now. But like it is for everyone, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
So how did you become such a good singer? Like
well, thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. I still feel like I have a lot of growing to do. There's still many things that I want to fulfill and get better at. Like I really struggled with and still do, like most people, actually believing in my singing voice, actually thinking that it could be listened in the same way as I listen to other people. Maybe people do listen to my voice in that way, but I never really thought that. And hearing you say lovely things like that, it really means a lot to me and makes me feel like I have grown as a performer. And yeah, it helps me feel like, okay, maybe I can do it, so a lot of practice and a lot of self-belief, finding that wherever you can find that. I don't know, lots of people try and imitate singers, I think, or have a specific role model that they love and do that. But I try to just be myself, just sing how it comes to me naturally. There are obviously phenomenal singers and techniques from other people that I have tried to sort of imitate or learn from, and that's really helpful. But I think learning how your voice feels and what you can give in your voice, rather than trying to be like, I want to sound like her, or I want to do it this way. Not every voice is different. Not every, the shape of your face, the way your nose is, your pharynx, everything, like your larynx is individual. Every single person is different. So you're never going to sound the same as someone else.
Right.
So I would say leaning into what makes my sound mine has been pretty cool and a nice thing to explore. And just running with that, hoping that it works and trying to be disciplined and practice and warm up the areas that I do need to work on. Discipline with practice is key, but very, discipline. I hate that word, but it's the most important word, I think. So yeah,
it really is.
I don't know how you guys go with implementing those types of things. You have a list of things to do every day and you think, have I done one of them yet? But there's still 9 things left to haven't done. But it's like, okay.
Yeah, we don't.
I love it. Just let it go. Just breathe through it. Moving on. There's another day tomorrow. Another day tomorrow.
It'll get done eventually.
Precisely. There we go. One of these days.
Yeah,
one of these days.
But that is kind of like what we're exploring too, because we love to sing also, but we still have a lot of room to grow. And we're still trying to figure out like how to find our own voice. Like, you know, because we're just beginning to explore that. You know, like you said, when we try to learn a song, we try to sound exactly like them, but we can't. But we learn how to expand our abilities by trying to sound like them, but eventually we have to come back to singing like how we can sing.
Absolutely.
So, like, do you have any advice as far as like how to get into our own voice? Because sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how to actually do it.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, definitely. And I mean, like, listening to those as a starting point, as you say, and sort of thinking, oh, well, how can I try and achieve that sort of sound or that sort of placement? You know, you have to start somewhere, and that's an amazing place to start. I think not being afraid of trial and error, of not being afraid of sounding ridiculously silly and wacky sometimes. Like, because as a singer, you want to sound good, right? You think, oh, I want to sing a song. Like, but how we were just talking about the discipline of the practice of acting and stuff, like the weird, wacky sounds that come out in my warm-ups are just, no one wants to listen to that. Even I don't, you know, thank you very much. Get me in a soundproof box. I think that's the only way I won't be self-conscious when I'm doing these funny sounds. But having to just power through that and know that it's part of your training. It's part of how you are finding your sound. Because like how, you know, babies make all these crazy noises just completely naturally and it doesn't damage them. Like we have to figure out where a certain sound sits in our pharynx and our voice. And you have to sound silly doing that sometimes. You have to sound loud. You have to just go for it. You have to see if something works, if something cracks, if something breaks, like, fine, just learn from it, tweak it, then change it, and then do it again. And okay, you've sounded like a funny animal not having the best time maybe for the past 10 minutes, but you know, at least you are feeling like you are trying to figure it out and just having to not care about what anyone else thinks. And whether it takes you a week, whether it takes you a year to figure out one kind of placement or one change in a vowel sound to make something feel better. It's about how it feels for the singer, right? You need it to work for you. And I think that's what is tricky sometimes when you're trying to implement, you know, one certain way. It has to be this way. I know from my own sort of desires and experience, oh, I have to get my mix in this place. I have to get my sound in this place. Well, okay, maybe we have to approach it a different way, or work from your head voice downwards, or work from your middle voice outwards, or work from the nose downwards, or okay, let's, you know, just play around and figure out different things. And it takes time. That's the biggest thing it takes, really. And just from what feels good, like health wise, vocally, and also like in your soul, like, you know, you said about how you find your own voice. I think when you just click with it, when you just connect with it, once you've worked on the technicality on a certain sentence or phrase, when you sing and it comes naturally to you, like that's your own voice. Whether you sound like someone else, okay, cool, like you sound like someone, awesome. But if you feel like it's natural and authentic to you, that's the most important thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
How is your singing journey going? Have you guys been doing some performances or like with lessons and stuff, or? Yeah,
we took a class yesterday because Dream Tracks is offering vocal lessons also, and we have a teacher now, and we've never learned through her yet, so we were like, okay, we're gonna check it out because we're unlimited now. So we're like, okay, let's check out her class. And she was like, yeah, it's time to find your own voices, you know. So we're like, yeah, that's awesome.
Wow, cool. I think that's amazing. And also, like, as you say, like having different vocal teachers. Some will
Yeah.
work amazing for you, some will be with you forever,
Oh,
some will be
yeah.
with you for a couple of weeks,
Mhm.
or some you'll run alongside. You can learn from anyone. But also, if you feel like you're not really learning that much, like obviously persevere, but then don't be afraid to say, can we try something else, or I'm going to
Right.
seek help elsewhere, you know, like having that range available and having that teacher at Dream Tracks now is
Yeah.
awesome. I can't
Yeah.
wait to hear how it goes. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, we
Thank
still
you.
really love our previous vocal teacher that we worked with for IMTA. Like
I remember.
she helped us a lot too. So we, you know,
Yeah.
we're always like gonna go back to her and try other things too. It's just whatever we want to do for now. We just
Yeah.
branching out.
That's exactly the right thing to do. And then you'll realize maybe one thing from that person fits with you, and one thing from that person fits with you. And it's kind of like, one of my teachers once said, making your own little toolkit of stuff, right? Because not one toolbox fits everyone. You have to make your own. So just learn from as many people as you can.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
Do you write music? Do you make your own music?
I don't. That is not something I really have ever given much time to. I don't hear melodies in my brain. Like I don't hear songs. I love songwriting, like when people write such heartfelt lyrics. It's the lyrics for me that I connect with, obviously, and the combination of the melody. It's all together. But I think if there was one thing I would do, it's probably be starting to write lyrics, because when I was a child I used to write poetry, and I love spoken word. Like I love watching performances of spoken word. It's just incredible. And I guess that kind of links into my passion for storytelling and sort of feeling, you know, the lyrics of something. But no, I've never seriously given it a go. I would love to be able to sit and just play guitar, but that would require me to learn how to play guitar. So don't do that.
Same.
But what is actually awesome is being on a ship with so many incredible musicians. There's so many talented people around. Like it is a gift to be surrounded by so many musicians and connecting with them, hearing about their experience, what type of work they've done, and they just want to jam and have fun. And one of my colleagues from a previous ship even approached me of saying, would you like to sing this song that I've written? And just for fun, you know, just totally like, oh, maybe, you know, one day we'll record it, but unless we set up a studio here, you know, it's just a lovely, enjoyable, creative pursuit to do together. And the fact that she asked me for my voice on this, that she wrote the lyrics and the melody. Very, very talented friend.
That's awesome.
It was just a real cool, like, I was honored that she was like, yeah, just do it. And I was like, wow, awesome. So, you know, you never know who you're going to meet, and just trying these different passions, which in the moment is fulfilling the time in the present, but it doesn't always have to lead to anything. It doesn't always have to be for money. It doesn't always have to be, oh, what's the point in this? It's like, well, do you want to try something new? Yeah, okay, cool. Just enjoy it. Like, and you know what I mean? It just can just exist as that. It doesn't have to be anything more. But to kind of be let in on someone's personal experience, you know, because writing a song can be a very personal experience for people. It was really cool. So yeah, maybe one day, but I'll stick to maybe a few poems or lyrics now and then, and maybe one day I'll try and collaborate with one of my friends that maybe writes the melodies or something. I don't know. I would maybe like to explore that, because the lyrical side of things does interest me. So yeah, we'll see. There's so many opportunities and so many things out there to do, but it would be cool.
Yeah, keep us posted. We would like to hear it.
I will. Thanks. Yeah.
Just thinking about being on a cruise ship is such a experience. It's when you go on the boat and you know, you're out to sea and you're with all these people together on this voyage, and so much fun. It makes me want to go on a cruise.
Yeah, we've been wanting to go on a cruise ship. Like one
Maybe
of
we'll
our
come
friends.
and-
Have you guys ever done one before?
No.
They haven't. I have.
Never done a
he
cruise.
has. Yeah, my
Yeah.
sister.
You have?
also.
Oh, cool.
have,
Which
yeah.
one? Which what? When? Who? Wow. When?
I've been to several. I went to Carnival a couple times. I went to Ensenada, which was really nice, and then I've been to Bermuda. I went to the Bahamas.
That's a lot.
Stunning.
Yeah, that's about pretty much it. But it was really fun. Really good time.
Wow, cool. Yeah, Carnival has a lot of beautiful Caribbean ones out there. I'm often jealous of. I have a couple of friends in the entertainment team over there, like always around the Caribbean, in and out of Florida and stuff, and it just looks heavenly. Yeah, but it's a great way to see different places. Like on a vacation, you get to travel around, and you're in a new port every morning, and it's a floating hotel. Really, everything is just there for you. And yeah, did you enjoy it, Michael? Would you want to do another one, or?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's just a different experience. You go on there and you're on this whole expedition, and everything's kind of planned out for you. All the things you can do and activities and entertainment, and it's fun. You get to eat a lot of food.
See, that is the risk. That is the risk. And when you're there just for like a 7-day or 2-week holiday, like go for it. And then it's like, oh wait, I'm here for 3 months. I should probably eat one day.
It's unlimited food.
The unlimited food is tempting. It's like, breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, late night snack, and then you realize you've eaten for 12 hours of the day. Right?
They don't have a Shake Shack there?
Unfortunately not, but they do have the grill station, which still does pretty good burgers. So my milkshake from Shake Shack is still on the agenda when I get home.
When we went to New York together last year, we were like, where are we going? She's like, Shake Shack. And then we got lost.
I'm just such a typical Brit with that. I'm sorry. I just love it.
We were like, let's go.
I was like, we're in New
Give
York.
me a Shake Shack and an In-N-Out. I'll be happy.
I'm like, we're in New York. We have Shake Shack at home.
She doesn't.
Oh, I'm terrible. I know. It was just right there, Don't want to get lost in New York.
We did end up getting lost anyway.
It was the GPS.
Yeah, it's wacky.
Oh, that was such a fun time. I can't believe that was like more than a year ago now.
I know.
I still feel like it's summer. I'm like, no, it's fall now. It's like, no, I'm just still in summer. This year is flying by.
It's hot still. It's still really hot.
Yeah, true.
So what is it like singing with a live band?
So much fun. It's amazing. But it was a brand new thing. Well, it was a new thing for me when I stepped into this role, because coming from a musical theatre background, that was what I did at university. When you perform in production shows, or if you're fortunate enough to have a live band, when I'm in a musical, in a production, you have the live band there. So you are singing with a live band, right? But, you've rehearsed your songs. It's the same every time. You know it inside, outwards, backwards, forwards, every way possible, and nothing ever changes. I've got a mark to be in on this lyric. I've got blah, 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 blah. Whereas coming out of that theatre musical environment and playing with the live band, just as Rebecca, I'm like, oh, this is pressure now. Like, oh, they can see me. Like, all of a sudden, my kind of disguise, if you like, and how comfortable I'd always felt being in a character, having costume, knowing that I've rehearsed this song 50 times, went out the window, because all of a sudden you're just there singing with the band, casual. They're all sight readers, incredible musicians. And, I've only maybe gone through by ear, because I'm not the best sight reader. I can plonk on the piano, but I'm not a good sight singer, which is very hard. And I've only gone through these songs, maybe once or twice. And there's people here. And yeah, they're dancing, but there's still people. And it felt like an open rehearsal in the beginning, in the first couple of months when I was at work, because I hadn't had the experience of performing in an orchestra kind of vibe or with a function band just as myself. It was totally brand new for me. So it was a big learning curve, but the band was really supportive. I made a lot of mistakes that everyone does at new things, and then you learn and you get better, and the songs start to kind of become part of you. And I found an ease in singing with the band. You know how every member of the orchestra kind of, there's a sort of silent communication that goes on between musicians. I always wonder, like, well, how do you know that, this is your solo? Or how do you know when this is the end? It's like the sheet music and the band leader, that's your guide. But as the singer, I'm like, what do I do? It's like, you just have to do it. And I'm like, okay. Fingers crossed, hope for the best, and hope that we all end at the right time and I follow the music properly and sing the right number of choruses and verses. Because the rehearsal was not there like I'd been used to, so that was a challenge. But overall, singing with, it's an 8-piece band we've got in the ballroom, which is amazing. To have that at sea is a blessing. Like 4 horn section, rhythm section, they sound epic, and it just adds to it. Singing with the backing track, I have to do that occasionally, which is nice too. But obviously, when you get the musicians there, it just brings it alive, and the guests feel that too. They love the music, and the live band is pretty special.
Yeah, I watched some of your videos on YouTube. It's
so good.
It looks like such a cool environment.
Thank you.
You're natural. Like, you don't have to worry about it. You're so good.
Yeah,
it has taken a while to ease into the sort of flow of it, for sure. But I think knowing that even at the very beginning when I started this career, like with Cunard, even despite the challenges and the struggles, when the song went right, it felt good, and I was like, okay, that's good. Like, I had one thing went right today. Like, that's enough to kind of carry me through the rest of the difficult and challenges that I'm feeling. So yeah, once you kind of build momentum, build experience, like with anything, you get stronger, and the more I'm now able to just enjoy and be present in the moment, rather than worrying how many bars am I counting. I still worry how many bars I'm counting, but not as much. So yeah, it's definitely nice now feeling like, okay, I have gone over a lot of these songs, and even if it is a new one, like, I know my strategy to practice. I know how long I need to practice, and you just build your kind of method, when you then face another challenge. And it's going pretty well. I love the band. They're great.
Yeah, it's kind of similar to acting. It's like, in the beginning, you don't know how you learn a script, or you don't have a process, but then the more you do it, it kind of becomes second nature. Yeah, absolutely.
100%. Yeah. And, it can feel like, oh, I'm never going to be able to get all this down, or I'm never going to get it into my body. And then the more you do it, the more you realize, oh, it's happened. Like, cool. Like, how did that happen? And it's just the process, as you say. I mean, it is challenging sometimes when you go from contract to contract. As we rotate, as all the staff rotate, the band rotate as well. So once you kind of get into a bit of a groove and you get into a good feel, then next contract you're thinking, oh, it was amazing last time, is it going to be the same this time? And most of the time it absolutely is. They're all fantastic. But there is a little bit of like, okay, another change again, just got everything good, and let's hope it's the same. You never quite really know what to expect with who you're going to be working with. But yeah, similar on like an acting project. I mean, you could be working with the same director, but all the crew could be new, or your co-actors. So it's kind of like, as long as you feel like you know what you're doing and you're as in control and as prepared, you can't worry about anyone else, right? You just have to know that you know what you're doing, you believe in yourself, and hopefully everything else will come together.
We're gonna have to book a Fiji cruise so we can watch.
We're gonna
it.
have
Oh,
to.
yeah.
We're gonna have to go see our friend. Like,
Yeah,
that's
let
the
us
only
know
cruise I
what's
wanna
your
go
next
on.
contract.
I will. I was in San Fran actually a couple of weeks ago, and then yeah, because I finished Alaska, came down to San Francisco, but we didn't go to LA unfortunately, because I know like that would have been not too bad of a drive for you guys, I guess. But yeah, they're changing their itinerary, Cunard, actually in the next year or so to do more kind of Caribbean stuff and around South America, which would be exciting. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to South America. I would absolutely love to go. So yeah, they could be around the US more, is my point. So the world is small, people. We will be reunited. I believe it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Fiji's not bad too. We can go to Fiji.
Yeah.
Fiji's on my list.
Yeah, or you could just come down here, right? Just come on down.
Yeah, why not?
Last question that I have, I was wondering about, because you have very good stage presence.
Yeah, you really do.
How did you develop that? Like, I don't know, because like,
how much practice did it take?
Literally. I mean, again, like, thank you for saying that, for recognizing it. It was something that has been practiced and has needed a lot of practice, because I remember when I started, so there's two vocalists that sort of front the Queen's Room, and having been in the position of being the newbie, I tended to sort of sit back a little bit, just do the songs, and then learn from the other person I was with who had more experience and was sort of more of the host and had more confidence in the talking. Because like I said previously, I was used to talking to an audience in a character or in an auditorium, whereas like some people aren't even listening to you, some people are dancing, and it's a whole different type of performance and sort of way of conducting yourself. And I took a while to come out of my shell a bit in that. 100%, it did take me a while, but learning from previous colleagues that I've worked with, and sort of even just going back to my safety net of sort of acting character, like memorizing a few lines to say at the end, like, okay, what do I need to say when I say thank you at the end of the night? Right, don't forget this, and just literally like trying to remember it by rote to sort of build myself up to that confidence. And then I think it sort of ran parallel as well as how I grew in my voice and confidence, like in the role, the sort of hosting sort of stage presence kind of just grew along with it. I think it went hand in hand. It's still scary getting up on the big stage, though, I will say, like with the jukebox show and the songbook show, being in my comfort zone on the stage, which I love, is amazing. But yet again, I'm not behind the safety of a theatre show. It's just me and the band. So that is where I really have to, let's come on, just just go for it and just be yourself. Like, you're just a human being. They're all just human beings. You're all just here. Hopefully, if one person enjoys your singing, then you've done a good job. Like, it's really not the end of the world. Sometimes I tend to I put a lot of pressure on myself. I think lots of creatives do. And but then sort of taking a few mental steps away from that and thinking, I'm so lucky that I get to be here. If something goes wrong, what really is going to happen? Maybe my ego would be damaged. Okay, Rebecca, let's just move on from that. Like nothing tragic is going to happen. Like, I'm here to entertain people and hopefully make them feel good, or feel something. And if I've done that, then it's been a successful day at the office. So I think being able to view it more from that perspective also helps lighten it and give me that sort of freedom in my body, like freedom in what I say, just to feel lighter. I used to feel things are quite heavy, like put a lot of pressure. It's like, just poof, just go, you know. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome
to
advice.
come from that sort of space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
So are any of the moves like rehearsed, or is it kind of just come to you? Like when you
Any of the
find
what,
stuff?
sorry?
Like the moves, like how you gesture, or like how you said, in theater you kind of have your moves, like what you do this,
Yeah.
this, and this. In live performance.
Well, in the performance now with the ballroom, no, it's kind of like sometimes I'm feeling a bit more theatrical than others. So sometimes I'll like want to act a song a little bit more, or sometimes if it's been a bit of a rough day, you can tell I'm a little less behind the eyes there, and I'm just kind of there doing it. But if I can, I want to try and have fun with it and bring out from the song what I can. I believe that's what I'm there for, and that's what I enjoy. So sometimes my lovely co-singer might need to duck if I'm getting a bit excited with some clinging arms, but we haven't yet choreographed any moves. But maybe I should talk to her about that. We've got some themed disco nights coming up, so who knows? I could bring back the old two-step choreo and combine the theatre and the ballroom vibe in one. That might be fun.
She dances to everyone.
Honestly, sometimes I just want to get up there with the guests on the ballroom, like seeing them dance and have fun, like, because I love dancing as well. Like, I can't ballroom, but just seeing them jiving and just having such a good time, I'm like, it's all part of the fun. Like, I just want to be down there bopping along with them sometimes. So it's good vibes.
You're a quadruple threat. That's what you are. And
own
it.
I'm not sure about that, but hey, if I can do a basic salsa step, I'll consider myself a dancer.
So this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's been so much fun.
So
Yes,
tell us,
thank you.
what's next for you?
Ooh, the $1 million question. What is next for me is I'm wanting to move back to London, back on land. Sort of take everything, all the amazing things I've learned, all the amazing things I've been blessed to have from this job, and apply it to work on land, I think. Because, I studied in London and I lived there for about 6 months before moving away for my first contract. So and then with COVID, I moved back home. So I haven't really given the industry in the UK, like on land, the full attack that I feel like has kind of been on my heart for a while. So that's the next plan. Yeah, it's going to be really hard coming away from this job in the capacity that I'm in right now. But you have to sometimes do the hard thing and follow what you want to do and just give it a try. So I think I would love to singing with the band, and we actually have big band night on tonight where we bring in the extra horns from the other orchestra. Oh, wow. Singing more kind of like swing style, like Nat King Cole, like Glenn Miller type stuff. And I love that sort of genre. So if I can, reach out to some orchestras around the UK or big bands like up and down the country, just doing gigs like that. I would love to do that type of work on singing on land as well. So that's definitely something I'd love to pursue. Hopefully will be in my future. And also going down the theatrical route, trying to network with the amazing people that are on the ground in London, and people given the opportunities, and people also seeking opportunities, going to class. If I can find an amazing community like Dream Tracks was, being around like-minded people, I think is really important to sort of help keep you all on the same track. So we shall see, but definitely trying to sort of run the two things alongside each other, get my shows off the ground, and hopefully be on cruise ships around just for a couple of weeks or a week at a time in that capacity with my jukebox and my American Songbook show. And hopefully be able to earn a living off performing somehow. So yeah,
Nice.
On land.
Awesome. Yeah. So how if people want to follow you and follow your journey and all that stuff, where can they find you?
You can find me on YouTube. My username is RJ Southard. Or you can just type in Rebecca Southard into YouTube and find some clips of me performing there. And also on my Instagram, which is again RJ Southard, and my website, rebeccasouthard.co.uk. So that has some information about me and my shows. And yeah, I post a little bit about my travels. I'm not like crazy, like not trying to make you all jealous all the time. You know, I have some kindness in that way. But yeah, so they're the main ways you can kind of get a little glimpse of me singing and see what I'm up to. So yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so
wonderful.
much.
So good to
Thank
see
you guys.
again.
Thank you so much for inviting me on. It's been a pleasure to talk to you all.
Yeah, have fun
Yeah.
tonight in your big band
Yeah.
orchestra night. That's what we love.
Absolutely. It'll be a good one. Yeah.
We'll be there in spirit.
Thank you. This conversation has given me even more enjoyment that I will take to tonight. So thank you.
Yeah, rest your
Yeah.
voice.
Absolutely. Chill time. Thank you so much, guys. Great to see you all. Sending love to Vegas.